I can't wait to get to school each day and wait for you to pass my way. And bells start to ring, and angel starts to sing. Hey, that's the girl for you. So what are you gonna do? Hey, little girl, I love you so. All I do is think of you. That's all I do. I can't get you on my mind. All the time, all the time. I've begun to take the long way home, just so I can be alone, to think of how to say my heart is here to stay. Hey, I'm in love with you. I think the world of you. So won't you please, please be mine? Please be all the time. I just think I'm in love with you. I think the world. Oh, baby, I keep thinking about you all night long. Oh, baby, day and night, that's all I do. Whoa, I can't get you, can't get you on
Y'all don't remember that when you used to beg on the song. When you used to beg on the song, that was completely different. When you begged on the song, you had to beg. You needed to beg. Welcome to the show. I'm your host. I'm the author. I'm the creator. I am Glenn. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Join the link. Everybody text me when I start. Join the link. The link is out there. If you want to join the show, I can catch you right here. So oh yeah. Yeah. I did update the cover photo. I did. I had to put skinny me on the Facebook. So welcome again to those who have never been here. I'm your host. I am the author. I am the creator, Glenn. How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World, a part of the TMG book series and media group. Thank you for joining us today, wherever you may be. However you got here, we're glad you're here, and thanks for joining us. If you have not, make sure you hit the notification bell, click subscribe so that you can join us and learn more here. There seems to be a little bit of a lag is what I'm hearing. So let me stop sharing and then see if that makes it a little better. And also maybe the camera. My camera. I didn't shave today. Okay. La camera. That's the bald head. Put no, no daddy. Don't do that. I'll give you all the feels. All the time. Yeah, that's when that's when you would talk over the song. Like you would sing the song, have the background singers. Mm-hmm. For those of you that come from different backgrounds, all I do is think of you. People are like, well, who is that? That's Troop. And then Troop had Spread My Wings on that album too. I remember playing that on the box, begging my mama, daddy, can I spend $4.99 to watch the video of All I Do Is Think of You, All I Do Is Spread My Wings? And then Tupac, Dear Mama. Those were the days. Yeah, there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, where you had to pay to watch videos on a channel on over the air television. I know all the stuff I'm saying is like smoking section in a restaurant. That's it. But let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to conclude our series today on male loneliness. We've been talking about it pretty much every episode that we've had, and it's been getting a great response. So we wanted to keep that same energy going and go from there. So without further delay, we're going to start with Pastor Devin, discovering your God-given purpose. And it's highlighted because it's from this week's sermon. As we closed out our sermon series, talks about why is your life chaotic? Why is that important, and why are we talking about it on this show? Glad you asked. Because in our book series, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World, Part 1, we talk about specifically for you ladies, chaos theory. If your life is chaotic, if it's catastrophic, if you're in crisis and it's continual, you have a mind problem. And here's the rub. No one will tell you, especially the men that you're dating, because they're all trying to sleep with you. They don't care. No one cares. It is your responsibility to get the help that you need and to fix the problems. We are not trauma shaming over here. We believe that if you have trauma, seek the help of professionals, friends, and family to get through it. But we're also saying it's your job. So don't be chaotic. Let's talk about it. Was the sermon series. We'll spend a couple of minutes on it. Without further delay, let's react.
I don't have any purpose. If people can't see what God is doing, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have clarity on the journey that you're on, if you're not clear on where you're at right now or where you're going, stumbling is in your future. And for a lot of people, that describes their life. Like they're just stumbling through life, stumbling through their marriage, stumbling through their finances, stumbling through their career, stumbling through their relationships. My emotions are stumbling. And our tendency when we're stumbling is try to just focus on those things. The problem is if you just focus on those things, it actually doesn't fix it, because you actually need to tend to what God is revealing. When I start to focus on what God is revealing, the actual thing that I thought was the issue starts to right itself. That God reveals something, and now all of those other things come into alignment. If you could just see what God has for your life.
Every time, if you're a Christian, you understand this, because we believe in Christianity. For those of you who have come to the channel and thought we were going to bash men and women, which we're not. Christianity is this. I believe that man walked in relationship and communion with God. There was a fall. From that fall, we were separated from God. God decided to wrap himself in humanity, become a man, was born in a manger, lived a life of 33 years, and around 3 of those years had the strong ministry that you know of, the New Testament. If you believe that Jesus was born, he was crucified, died, and raised again on the 3rd day, and you believe that in your heart of hearts and in your mind, you are saved by faith. That's Christianity. That's the first step. The second step is sanctification. That's where most Christians fail. That's where we all fail. Sanctification is a daily, continual process to choose righteousness, and not self-righteousness, not self-importance. where we are discipling to be better and more like Christ. We will never be Christ, but we are striving to be more and more like him. That's what it is. And what we have done poorly as Christians, especially as we look at 2025, we have made God a genie. We talk about Jesus and God as if they're the genie in the lamp, Robin Williams or Will Smith. Lord, I need help. Lord, I need to make a way. Or we say, God this, God that. Is it Jesus is what most Christians are looking for when you speak. Do you ever talk about Jesus? Do you ever introduce Jesus to anyone that you meet? Can people look at your life and say, this is a follower of Jesus? That's the goal. What we happen, if you look at Proverbs 29:18, if people can see what God is doing, they stumble all over themselves. But when they attend to what he reveals, they are most blessed. When we can't see what God is doing, we stumble. So if we are chaotic, if we are in crisis, if we have catastrophes, if it is continual, there's a chance that we are stumbling. It's not even a chance. It's what the word of God says. Stumble all over you. You stumble. He said it. You stumble in your finances, in your family, your marriage, your friendships, in your job, in your business, because you can't see what God is doing. God's not in it. But I want to let him continue to cook. Cook, PD.
Then you would have what the Bible calls a blessed life. And that word blessed doesn't mean you have a perfect life. It means this, that even in the midst of everything going on around me, there's a contentment in my soul. That's what that word means. That it fills the void, that my purpose and the clarity on where my life is headed, because it's to what God is revealing to me, all of a sudden there's a calm, there's a peace. Let me say it this way. There's a level of fulfillment to my life. Why? Because it's purpose. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. This is actually what motivates me. So many of us are just kind of meandering through life, just kind of clocking in, clocking out of life without any purpose or meaning. And so many of us are living far beneath the life that God has for us. And this is actually what drives me. Because I watch too many people settle for a life far beneath what God has for them. In fact, today, you'll walk out of this service and just keep living the same life you've been living and do nothing with what I'm going to get ready and give you.
All right, I'm going to stop it there because he cooked us up in this service. And I think this is the 945 service. If you don't know, connectchurchtn.com. Go to the website. There's an app, everything you can download. You can see his sermons. But I always try to share a sermon out at the beginning. That's my call. Now let's get into the drama. Let's get into the drama. The live stream's still going good. If you want to join the live stream, I put the link on Facebook. Just go to my Facebook page and get it. I see people waiting in the queue. I don't know who you are, so you ain't getting in. If I know you and have done content with you, then you may get in here. But he cooked us on that. He did. He cooked us in there. All right, so let's go to. Nope, I don't want to do this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so we did that. Nope, y'all ain't getting that. Y'all ain't getting PD. We need to go to the website. People are like, you pay for premium? Yes, I do. All right, male loneliness. Y'all, their favorite topic. We'll go to the diary of the CEO clips. 2 months ago, like, share, we're subscribed, right? Yep, we're subscribed. You don't go on people's page without being subscribed, guys. It's not nice. Especially for content creators that are doing this full time, guys. It's really hard. I'm telling you, it's really hard. I do this because I'm called to do it. Some people do this because this is what they want to do. This is their career path. So make sure you click and subscribe. If you hit the like button and you just like the video. I know you think you're outsmarting the algorithm. You're not. You're not. You're not smarter than the algorithm. I'm letting you know. They have AI. They have a lot of smart engineers from all over the world. You're not outsmarting the AI. You're going to watch what they want you to watch So just like and support the people that you like video. That's where we are. That's where we are. I think we just lost, but we're back. So let's go ahead. Without further delay, we're going to react. Let's get live. Real reason why 80% of men get rejected. So this continues. If you have not, we have 9 episodes where we've talked about and touched on male loneliness with a bunch of different psychologists, therapists, content creators that are in the area. So we talked about women in chaos. We understand why you're in chaos. You need Jesus. You stop trying to do everything and please everybody and please your mama and please your sister and please your brother and please your boss and please your ex and your kids. Stop pleasing everybody. Get into the purpose God has for you. That's my message today. So now let's talk about the men, male loneliness. Real reason why 80% of men get rejected. This is going to be very key, but I've done a reaction this summer, this series, volume 3, about this. So this is another episode. Stop saying, hey, get off social media and get off the dating apps. Men. This doesn't tell me why. This doesn't tell me why 80% of men get rejected. Hmm. Hold on, because that's an opposite of what we keep hearing on all the other channels. Now, I don't believe the other channels, but it's saying that standards, men are not allowed to have standards, is what I keep hearing. Or men's standards are too unrealistic, and women's standards are just that, a standard. Their preferences. Men aren't even allowed to have preferences. So let me see what the comments say. The rule that overrides all others: if they find you physically attractive, none of this matters. That's absolutely true. The sad part is that as a man, you have all these rules to date so as not to immediately disqualify yourself. Whereas for a woman, all you have to do is pretty much not be mean. You didn't even say hot. People don't realize physical attraction is also the first thing a woman sees when interacting with a man initially. I would argue most women are more shallow with looks than they care to admit. We've done videos on that. If you don't understand the nature of a woman, it's more. Yeah, but it's more, and that's fine. And we don't shame that over here. We actually believe what the Bible says is true. God created them both male and female before Adam was even formed. That was on Male and female was on the mind of God. God had already had a plan to have men and women to repopulate the earth. And he created the will of women and created the will of men. Men are logical, women are emotional. You're not going to change that by making more money, sir. You're not going to change that by making more money, ma'am. You're not going to remove his logic and make him get on your page of emotion. You're not going to remove her emotions and make her get on the page of logic. That's why this channel was created, to break through all of the noise. If you want toxicity, this ain't it. If you want bashing, male or female, this ain't it. I'm sorry. I don't even I don't even have the bandwidth to do that. We want people here at TMG, one man, one woman, one relationship with each other. They both know they're in the relationship. Long term relationship, marriage, children, legacy as a result. That's the focus. And anything that he's saying also validates what we believe here as well. Men 18 to 33, put your head down and go get skills. That's 15 years for you to take care of the rest of your life. I'm only asking for 15, not asking for 50. And what I'm saying is, since I'm asking for the 15 years, you would be able to create the life you want at 65. You're not going to be able to create the life you want at 65 if at 30 you're still living like you're 15. Teenage fantasy. What's her name? Georgia Smith? None of that. Let those teenage fantasies go. That's why we talk about NBA players here, because they're all living out teenage fantasies. They got the means to do it. I don't care about body language. I like that. I'm still in it. Christ. You know I'm out. You already know I'm out. Why y'all send me this? Psychedelic. Okay, Aaron Rodgers. There it is. All right. This was from last week. Let's go into. Okay, there it is. I'm done with that. So we'll go back. Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. I'm glad he talked about that because that we talked about the stats. According to a 2021 survey, 50% of all American men reported feeling lonely all or most of the time, compared to 11% of the women, so a 4% delta. Trends. The rate of male loneliness has increased significantly in recent decades, rising from 8% in 1990. That can't be right. 20%? Men aged 50 to 69 have the highest rate of loneliness, followed by those aged 70 and older. Men who are lonely tend to have fewer close friends and social connections than those who are lonely. We've talked about online statistics with corn, video games, OF, Reddit boards, social media. They're having a negative perception of what their lot is in life, and so they're gravitating towards other men who are like-minded. What I always say is that men naturally insert themselves into groups of hierarchy. It's not going to change. And then when they do that, they make the decision they align themselves where they rank in the order. Loneliness can have a significant health impact. Factors that may contribute to male loneliness: social isolation, cultural norms about masculinity, work stress, and lack of romantic relationships. The best outcome for society are men and women who are pair bonded and in a committed relationship. Relationships are create families, families create neighborhoods, neighborhoods create communities, communities create towns, towns create cities, cities create regions, regions create states, states create countries, countries create world. It all starts with the family. It all starts with one family. The U.S. Surgeon General has talked about loneliness, and our current administration is cutting everything. They're doing more reports on it. This is 16%. So it rose from 8 to 16% of men communicating, which means that's half of the men who are actually feeling it. So it's more like 32%. Those were stats from Pew Research. It is. Hold on. Men and women don't have the same criteria when pair bonding. It, and deliver me from this, because this is the bill that was sold to Western women and general North American U.S. women in particular. Go to school, get your education, get your job, get your career, and then that way you'll be able to get a man that behaves. Doesn't work that way, because men are not looking for that. Now, y'all are dating men that are okay with that, but those versions of men are below the line. They're males and they're city boys. The males and the city boys are giving you one of two things or both. They're giving you the physical need that you have with presence and availability, intimacy, or they're giving you the emotional need of trauma bonding with you and letting your trauma and managing around your trauma. Those are the men that you guys are picking. And again, I think I was on a podcast last week and we talked about money. I was like, most people don't have money. I was like, everyone has an income, and your income is dependent on what you do. It's the skill that you put in the marketplace. Money is passive, and money needs to be working in the market for you. You can't just have money sitting in your checking and savings account talking about this is an emergency fund. You have to put money to work. That's why Dave Ramsey was so pivotal to me from a financial journey, because he told me to get out of debt. You have more flexibility. And then you can use debt. This is where we deviate, for business purposes only. Shouldn't be for personal consumption. You're consuming too much. Most of us have more things in our house than we know what to do with. But the pair bonding and the criteria for men and women are completely different. Women are looking for provision, protection, and their providers, and men are looking for nurturers and caregivers and supporters. So what you hear on the toxic channels, all men want a woman that's fit, friendly, physically fit. What is the other one? Fit, friendly, physical fit. Put it in the chat. And fit, friendly, physically fit, and cooperative. That's what they're looking for. That's what every version of a man above the line is looking for. Modern, traditional, high value. Those are the criteria that have to be met. If you're not meeting any of those, all of those, he's not going to choose you. He'll have fun with you. He'll spend time with you, which I say is wasting time, yours and his. But he ain't going to commit the way you're thinking that he needs to commit, or the way that you're expecting him to commit. And I'm sorry that you have to experience that. But the pair bonding is different, and the criteria are going to be different. And women with incomes, and incomes that are greater, because we're in an information economy where men are starting to disassociate with colleges and going back into the trades, because that's where the money is for men. There's this big disconnect. Women want a man that went to college. Men are not going to college. I think we're going to have, in this next 15-year period, this gap where women, like in the 80s, had to choose to go to work and come home to someone that is looked at as blue collar. But he's making money. He's making $150 a year. He's an electrician. He's an HVAC install tech. He's a security tech. He's a low voltage tech. He's a general contractor. He's a general laborer. He knows how to do drywall better than anyone. I'm telling you where the economy is rewarding people. And look at where the funding for the state and the federal governments are going for universities. They're going to trades and to STEM. They're not going to sit and learn and read about literature. You're not going to be able to get a student loan for that. And it doesn't serve you in the market unless you go back into education. And those programs are disappearing. I just read something today from my home state, University of Indiana. It's closing out 133 degree programs across the state. So that means there's going to be more specialization for college like it used to be. If you wanted to be an engineer or a business person, you went to FAMU for an HBCU. If you wanted to be in entertainment, you went to Howard. If you wanted to be in agricultural, you went to FAMU, or you went to Alabama A&M, or you went to Tuskegee. If you wanted to be in science, if you wanted to be a doctor or a dentist, you went to Meharry Medical College. That's the HBCU world. We're going to get back there. So just be prepared. So if you're a child and you came in this and you're 14, 15, 16, and you're looking, take a look at the market. 18 to 33 is going to set you up for the rest of your life. Put your head down, get one job, two job, one promotion, two promotion. At 33, pick your head up and go find a woman. Men, women, put your head down, stop chasing, and wait for the right man. Last 5 minutes on that. Good podcast. I disagree with that, because where I live, the women are the same. The women that are married with kids, they're the same height as their husbands. They're 5'8", they're 5'7", they're 5'6". So I actually disagree with that statistic. I think modern women that are vocal are communicating they want a man that's 6 feet. So the high heel theory, I'm not going to coin that. That's already coined. I don't like it. But yeah, most women want someone that's their height or taller. That's normal. You literally have to be Russell Simmons in his prime to get Kimora Lee. You have to be Pharrell Williams where you get the height disparity. Oh, we'll talk about dating standards. All right, that's what I wanted to hit. Ladies, you don't get to choose the father figures for men in the marketplace. So don't go on podcasts saying men need to choose this version of a man to model. You don't get to decide that. Men do. Men, we align ourselves in hierarchies. We align ourselves in pyramids. Let the men choose it and find the man that most resonates with you. That's what I was looking for last week. No, you're not. You're not really worried about it. I've said male loneliness is a bigger problem than the government even wants to admit in the U.S. The government is definitely afraid of a bunch of men who are lonely and have nothing to lose. I'm just saying it. I'm not saying it needs to change. I'm saying you're not going to be able to go align with local celebrity or local pastor number 4 if I don't have a father figure. I keep saying that. You can't provide. You have an income. It's a difference. The occasion that she's speaking of that she would like the men to rise to, or she's saying that women are saying that men need to rise to, is to provide more outside of provision. Why do we say for men, and I'm done here. Why do we say to men that why did we create the versions and the archetypes of men and women? Because we wanted you guys to be able to have a clear picture of what you're up against. And what you're up against is not a term or a negative critique. All it is, what are you fighting for? And what are you fighting against? Because women are saying we need more. And we have covered that on our channel and in our book series, talking about the traditional man. Traditional man, they qualify 4 P's, and then they get a wife. The 4 P's are your favorite: provision, protection, priesthood. And a lot of people are like, what does priesthood mean? That's the moral center, the moral ground, and then profession. Online, publicly, at work, in the city, people know that you have chosen this woman and you're leading this family. That's where traditional men step in and look for the 4 P's, and then they qualify for a wife, a version of a woman that is wise, that is industrious, that is fearless, and that's elegant. That's how you qualify for a wife. So if you have not, make sure you go to our website, tmgbookseries.com. I don't know where it went because I'm out the rest of the week and I am relaxing. We will have the live replay that's going on all weekend for the 4th of July. Thank you guys for everyone that's supported us on the show, supported us on the channel. If you have not, make sure you go to the website and buy a book. We have both the digital version and the audio version. Yes, that's my voice on there. I did voices as best as I could. We're in the 1st edition, 2nd edition. There's another cover someone sent to me. That's one of the affiliate partners. They're out doing their thing. So thank you for that. But this is the official version of TMG Book Series, How to Get Great Dating Outcomes in a Modern World, Parts 1 and 2 available wherever you buy books, but also on our website. You can download directly to your mobile device, or you can download directly to your app of choice. You go to our website and start it wherever you have defaulted, whether it's Kindle, whether it's Nook, whether it's the Books app or the Google Books app. That's where it'll download, and then you'll own that. And we thank you, everyone, for doing that. If you have not, make sure you join us on the social networks. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X. And again, guys, I'm your host. I am the author. I am the creator. I am Glenn. Thank you for joining us for another episode of TMG Live. Have a great rest of your day.